Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Crypto Convo, series where we cover exciting news and price action in the land of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. You guys know I'm a Bitcoin boolah, so I'm always pumped to sit down and record these for you guys. As always, we'll go over each topic that we're going to be discussing, then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, as always, TradingView, where we will look at the following cryptos in this order today, kicking it off with the king: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and chainlink. I mean, this video timed out so perfectly. Right as I finished getting everything prepped to record, the cryptocurrency just started turning up. We're seeing a lot of green here. You'd love to see it, so that'll make me even more excited to record this with you guys. So of course, we will look at the technicals. I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking in terms of future potential price action. Again, looking very promising, not only right now, but for the near to midterm future as well. So we will do that. We will also kick it off with just kind of going down the line here on coinmarketcap. I want to start doing that for these, just giving you guys my thoughts on some of these other coins that we don't talk about all that much. I want to let you guys know that I do keep a pretty close eye on this. I do look at CoinMarketCap every single day, so I don't only look at the ones on my watch list on TradingView, but I just want to keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on in the greater crypto sphere. So we will take a look at this. Also, let me know down below, you guys. I'm very interested to know which coins that you guys are interested in. There's so many altcoins out there, and keep in mind, you guys, there's the far majority of them I probably won't care about, and I probably don't know much about, to be completely honest. But please let me know down below what you guys are interested in, because I'm very interested in knowing what you guys are interested in. Okay, so we will take a quick look at this. We will also take a look at a Crown trading app. So this is something that I use as well that I haven't actually shared with you guys before, but I do want to start looking at in these videos as well. So this is an application made by Mr. Eric Crown. He's one of my favorite analysts in the game. Shout out to Eric Crown, you guys. But he has a lot of good metrics on here. Okay, so you can see Bitcoin dominance, fear and greed index, which is the most important ones we're going to be looking at today. Open interest is very important as well. But the primary ones I want to focus on with you guys is the fear and greed index and the market movers. So what big money is doing, because that's, as always, guys, I say this a lot. This applies to stocks as well. Big money a lot of the time dictates general direction. They can't completely dictate price, but they dictate direction, and that's why it's important to see what big money's doing. Okay, so we'll take a look at this: big money, market movers, and the fear and greed index, and then we'll go into actually doing the Bitcoin analysis. But in terms of news, very exciting news to cover with you guys today. Billionaire investor Stanley Druckenmiller, and I quote, "Bitcoin is better bet than gold." So this is huge, you guys. He was on CNBC. Druckenmiller right up there with Buffett, right up there with Paul Tudor Jones on the Mount Rushmore of investing. I mean, just an absolute legend at an institutional level. So it's very promising to see this, you guys. It's just furthering our argument that institutional investors, even legacy institutional investors, which means that much more, because I mean, this guy's, again, on the older side. He's Mount Rushmore. So if this guy's coming around, it's only a matter of time before the younger bucks with a lot of money, those market movers, do start to come into the sector as well. So huge news here. We will go over a few paragraphs here. Again, very exciting stuff that just I think this just happened yesterday, so super exciting here. And then we'll do a quick update on ETH 2.0. Not going to spend too much time on this just because it's not that exciting, but it's actually kind of negative news for Ethereum 2.0. From a technical perspective, I want to let you guys know that ETH is looking very solid right now, as are all altcoins and just crypto as a whole. But this is not very good news for this new ETH 2.0 launch, like test launch, and primarily in regard to staking, which we'll get into once we get to the article. Okay, so those are two articles we're going to cover. As always, you guys, before we do dive into it, I will ask you to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today, or if you're invested in any of the cryptos that we're going to be talking about. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to catch more content like this, and of course, check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter, first link in the description. If you want daily updates from myself, want to know how I'm trading not only cryptocurrencies, but crypto-related stocks across every other sector that we talk about on this channel. Again, Riot Blockchain, you guys, Riot Blockchain Marathon Patent Group. There's a lot of news coming out there. Riot just announced earnings. Not going to cover that today. I did cover that in the newsletter today, but I will make a video, stock talk on Riot Mara, probably overstock some of the other players in the crypto sector tomorrow. We'll go over some earnings. I know Marathon Patent Group announces earnings tomorrow. But again, if you guys want real-time updates from me, I will cover those. I will. I mean, again, as soon as I have the news, I do send out the newsletter and update the portfolio during market hours. Okay, so again, if you guys want real-time updates from me, I do my best to make it worth your money. First link in the description below. Really appreciate it if you check that out. If not, no worries at all though. Let's get into this. So we will kick it off, as always, with the fundamentals. Just breeze through these real quick, and then we'll finish it off just straight technical. Okay, so once confused by Bitcoin, Stanley Druckenmiller, now an investor. In brief, Stanley Druckenmiller is a billionaire investor. He thinks that Bitcoin could be a better bet than gold, Previously, Druckenmiller dismissed Bitcoin. Stanley Druckenmiller, a billionaire investor who managed George Soros' money back in the 90s, today sang the praises of Bitcoin. And I quote, "It could be an asset class that has a lot of attraction as a store of value to both millennials and to the new West Coast money." And as you know, they've got a lot of it. So again, millennials, obviously, everything is trending more digital. All of our peers, and I don't know, like, I know the demographic that watches these videos, thankfully, is very diverse, and that's awesome. That's awesome that no matter how old you are or how young you are, you can be interested in. I do my best to follow more revolutionary sectors, more exciting sectors, and crypto definitely falls under that bracket. So no matter what age you are, it's cool that. I mean, it's cool that everyone's involved on this channel for sure and in this space. But I mean, when it comes to just kind of like the majority of millennials who are actually going to acquire a lot of this wealth, like there's a great generational wealth transfer that's about to happen, you guys. From the baby boomers or from Gen Xers to the millennials, okay? And again, as this generational wealth continues to be passed down from generation to generation, the younger generations are obviously going to skew, like their interest is going to skew more digital and more cutting edge. And right now, Bitcoin, keep in mind, you guys, it's still very, very early for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole. Like, even though we've already been through a few cycles, it's still super early. Bitcoin's only 11 years old, so very important to keep in mind there. The further we progress just down the line, the more money is passed down generations, the more appealing Bitcoin becomes overall. So, and of course the Silicon Valley money, all the tech entrepreneur money, tech entrepreneurs, Silicon Valley loves Bitcoin. Okay, so it's only a matter of time before more money just keeps flowing in from every angle. Pomp, an individual we talk about many, I've recommended the content of many times on this channel. Released a tweet this morning. OMG, Stan Druckenmiller explaining why Bitcoin is the best asset. So I watched the clip. I wouldn't say the best asset, but he's very bullish on it, more bullish on it than gold, that's for sure. Moving on, Druckenmiller's comments come as Bitcoin's price breaks past $15,000, almost 4 times its price in March, and about $5,000 more than its price in the start of last month. And I quote, "I own many more times gold than I own Bitcoin, but frankly, if the gold bet works, the Bitcoin bet will probably work better," he said, because it's more liquid and has more beta has a lot more beta to it. He said, "Beta measures how volatile an asset is compared to the market as a whole." So again, you guys, the volatility, I always say this in regard to Bitcoin and stocks too sometimes. Volatility it can be scary to people who don't understand it, but I view volatility as a feature, not a bug. I think volatility ultimately to the upside will bring attraction, interest to the asset. Obviously, the more interested investors are in the asset, the more they'll educate themselves on it. And the more people who understand Bitcoin, again, it's only a matter of time. I think it's just a matter of education, to be completely honest. It's not, it's just ignorance. Anyone who doesn't believe or who doesn't understand the fundamental value that Bitcoin provides in this new financial system, that's just gold 2.0 even, is just doesn't understand the argument yet. And it's only a matter of time before people get exposed, before they educate themselves. And again, once you dive down the rabbit hole, once you educate yourself, then you obviously understand the prospects of Bitcoin. So finish off with another gentleman that we reference a lot on this channel. I love this guy's work, probably one of my mentors definitely in this space and in the whole macro investing landscape. And I quote a tweet: "The significance of the word," Raoul Pal, I should say his name, "the significance of the world's greatest and most respected money manager, Stan Druckenmiller, is saying now that he is long Bitcoin, he is long Bitcoin cannot be overstated. That has removed every obstacle for any hedge fund or endowment to invest." So again, you guys, that's the biggest thing here, and that's like what I want to wrap up this story with, is just the fact that if a Mount Rushmore, if like one of the pinnacles of institutional money managers is saying that Bitcoin is he likes the Bitcoin bet more than the gold bet, and he thinks that both are going to work, like, it's just so powerful. And it's similar to how when MicroStrategy bought up all that Bitcoin and put it on their balance sheet. Like, it's just the first domino, you guys. It may not seem big now, but this is the first domino and like the beginning of the snowball effect, you know, like starts as a small snowball. As it starts to roll down the hill, accumulates more snow, it becomes a big old snowman. Or you guys get the point there. It's the butterfly effect. Now that people know that, again, a veteran, an absolute veteran in the space like Stan Druckenmiller gave the green light to Bitcoin, then they're gonna feel a lot less skeptical trying to establish a position. And again, you guys, in the institutional world, just a few positions can go a very long way for only like a $300 billion asset like Bitcoin. So very important to understand there. Let's go to ETH 2.0 real quick, and then we'll just dive straight into the charts. So there are 2 more weeks before its launch is delayed, but progress has slowed down lately. The deposit contract for Ethereum 2.0 now holds 50,000 Ether, worth approximately $22 million at the publication, at the time of this publication. This is slightly less than 10% of the minimum required stake of 500,000 or $230 million. Or $230 million in Ethereum. ETH 2.0 is set to launch on December 1st, but only if the minimum stake threshold is reached 7 days before that date. And then this is the reason that why a lot of people are skeptical to put money into Ethereum 2.0. So Ethereum 2.0 deposits cannot be withdrawn or used until sometime between the implementation of Phase 1 and Phase 2, which may take years. This may be a significant deterrent for onboarding, as stakers will sacrifice liquidity for relatively low yields and an uncertain lockup period. So staking yields right here, I should have highlighted that, are expected to be below 10%. So sub 10% for putting up 32 ETH. And again, losing liquidity, that's the biggest thing, especially when people think that we're about to go into a bull cycle, into a bull rally. This might not have been the best time for ETH to try to implement the staking method or just kind of the staking on ETH 2.0. So, I mean, I get it. This isn't like huge news, you guys, but it's just interesting to see this. It kind of shows overall investor sentiment for the fact that a lot of investors, a lot of obviously ETH holders are hesitant to put their Ethereum, even if they're going to get 10% back. They obviously want the liquidity, the option for liquidity if we see not just 10%, but like 10x. So if Ether is able to go like $4,000, they're going to be bummed if their ETH is stuck in limbo, earning them 10%. Obviously, it's going to appreciate in value, but only earning them 10% and losing most importantly, again, if we see a bubble, you want liquidity. You want the ability to cash out if we see astronomical prices, okay? So again, just showing overall positive investor sentiment. That's the primary reason I wanted to go over this article with you guys. So let's do quick rundown coinmarketcap. Again, you guys, let me know which coins you're interested in. I know obviously Litecoin's a big one. Any of the top 10 are going to be big. Not a fan at all of either of the Bitcoin competitors. So Bitcoin SV or Bitcoin Cash, don't like them. Binance Coin I like. Litecoin, I've traded Litecoin a lot in my past. I haven't touched it much lately, but I mean, let me know if you like Litecoin. Polkadot's exciting. Cardano is obviously one people like. Monero is one people like. Tron is an interesting one. So let me know what you guys like again. But right now, the cryptocurrency sector looking good. ETH leading the pack right now. ETH and Chainlink is looking super strong, so I'm excited to look at the charts with you guys for Chainlink. XRP looking pretty solid. Bitcoin's slowing down a little bit, so you can tell that altcoins are picking up a little steam. But keep in mind, over the past few weeks, Bitcoin has been very, very dominant over altcoins. So it's about time they bounce back, but it's just good. Everything's green for the most part except Bitcoin Cash. Again, that doesn't matter to me because I don't like either of the Bitcoin competitors. So good stuff here, you guys. And on the weekly, like Chainlink up 30% in the last 7 days, Ethereum up 20%, Bitcoin up 10%. So actually, I wouldn't be surprised if altcoins slow down a little bit and Bitcoin starts to pick up steam again, just because it just fluctuates, you guys. But overall, everything's looking green. That's very good here. So of course, we will kick it off with Bitcoin, you guys. Bitcoin looking solid right now. We're in an ascending wedge, and I'll explain that further after we look at this real quick. So there's not much to look at here, you guys, but I just want to let you guys know that we will be looking at this from here on. So Fear and Greed index, Fear and Greed at an 86 from a 90. So again, 86 is pretty greedy, obviously. So 100 is max greed, 0 is max fear. 86 is pretty greedy. So 86, we're getting a little greedy. You guys, things get a little sketchy when you get greedy. So you got to be careful here. 86, but I mean, when it's going from 90, then you can say that's a little better. So we're taking a step in the right direction as far as greed is concerned. But you guys, in a bull market, greed is not a bad thing. Like in bubbles, in crazy rallies, you'll see greed to get to like 98, 99. It's very rare to see 100 on the greed, Fear and Greed index, but you can see high 90s, and that's usually a sign that we're reaching the top. So 90 actually isn't that bad. 86, a lot better. It makes me think that we will definitely see some upside right now. And once we get like 95 plus, you guys, that's when you got to start thinking about maybe reducing your positions and being a little more responsible with your sizing there. Okay, so and then we'll go on to market movers. Again, you guys, this is just something good to look at for you guys to look at. Again, app.crowntrading.net. Shout out to Eric Crown, one of my favorite analysts in the game personally. I view him as a mentor as well to me. But you guys, this is very important to look at, is like just everything on here. If you guys can understand what's on here, you can definitely use it to your advantage. And that's what I want to teach you guys. So one day you won't have to just watch my videos all the time. I appreciate you hanging out, and even if you become more competent than me, I'd appreciate it if you still hung out. But I mean, I want you guys ultimately to become equally as competent, if not more competent than I am. So and that's not saying much. You guys can definitely do it. So it's just good for you guys to have access to this type of stuff, keeping an eye on the market movers, keeping an eye on the fear and greed. Open interest is an interesting metric as well. But that's that. Let's move straight into the charts. Okay, you guys. So again here, this is kind of an ascending wedge, not an ascending wedge, but it's definitely an ascending triangle. So you see here, you could actually move this down to be a little like, you could say this is almost the line of the triangle, because there's just a lot of areas of resistance around here. There's a lot of price. There's just a lot going on around this 15.7 area specifically. But this is a little safer, and I'll call this an ascend. It's not really it. This is a wedge. This is obviously a wedge pattern, but I'm viewing this more as an ascending triangle. Okay, so significantly, like, pretty stagnant on these highs right here, pretty similar highs. But this is definitely in like these levels of support. These higher lows are definitely making like a significantly more angled line to the upside. Okay, so I think it's highly likely. Obviously, as you guys can tell this by this arrow, I'll zoom out a little bit. I just wanted you guys to see that. So this is pretty much, to sum it up, what I think is going to play out in regard to Bitcoin. We'll come up, maybe test this line, bounce down a little bit, and then maybe after a very short correction, testing this top line of resistance around the 15.7 area. We'll probably correct a little bit, maybe 15.5-ish or something, and then I think we're going to blast up. And you guys know I've been saying this for a while now. I think we're going to hit 17K. So if we come up to test this long, again, you guys keep in mind these cyan lines are lines of resistance on the more medium and longer term uptrends, okay? So from like the March lows, from I think the June or July highs or time frame, we'll zoom out. We'll just zoom out. Why? I mean, speculate. So we'll zoom out a little bit. Let's go back to the daily candles. So as you guys can see here, again, you guys, this is a very conservative trend line from those March lows that we saw. And then this is a trend line as well from July, August area. So I think it's very likely that we ultimately come up. I think, yeah. I mean, you guys, I'm super convinced that we're going to break out of this ascending triangle. Ascending triangles, I should have said before, are traditionally bullish patterns. So for the majority of the time, you'll break out to the upside in an ascending triangle. And again, with all the fundamental, like just the fundamental bullishness behind Bitcoin, I'd be surprised if we don't break out to the upside. Going back to the 4 hours, you guys, sorry, it's a little laggy here. But again, break out to the upside, I think we will ultimately test. And then this area right here that I have drawn, this purple line I've had drawn for a very long time around the 17.4 region, is pretty much the only level of resistance. If you go back to the 2017 bull rally, that posed a line of resistance, and it acted as any sort of ceiling aside from 20K in that 2017-2018 bull rally. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if we come to retest this and maybe correct at like 17.3, but I think it's more likely to continue this rally. A lot of people are probably going to be thinking we're going to hit the 17K region. I think it's likely that we will continue just to follow this trend line correctly. Again, on the 2020 uptrend, just ascension of Bitcoin. And I think it's likely that we come up to like the 17.4, 17.5 region. So it's pretty close to this area. And again, you guys, give or take, but I think it's very likely that we see a 17K plus Bitcoin I would say in the next week or two. So this, if we break out and go straight to 17K, that would be November 12th. So that's in a couple days. So saying a week is very conservative, but I think this is going to happen pretty soon, guys. But again, keep in mind, this is just my opinion. I could be very wrong. We could fall off a cliff tomorrow. I don't know, but it's looking very promising to me. Moving on to ETH. So Ethereum, and remember, guys, we will we will take a look at Riot and Marathon Patent Group tomorrow. Take a look at their earnings because it's super exciting times there as well. So ETH looking very strong. ETH looks like it's about to break out, to be completely honest. Just looking at this 4 hours. So Ether, let's actually go to the daily and zoom out. I want to see what this looks like, kind of zoomed out. So Ether, it makes just looking like, it's very likely. I think I'd be surprised if we didn't hit this. So we're back in this longer term ascending channel that we saw beginning back in February. And just looking at this, I'd be surprised if we don't come up to ultimately test this top line of resistance. That would bring us up to like a $580-ish Ether. Obviously, you guys keep in mind, whenever it depends on when we hit this line of resistance. So if we hit it tomorrow, it'd bring us to like 565. If we hit it January, end of the year. That'd bring us to like 615 ish. So it does depend. I think if Bitcoin continues to do well, if we do see a rally in cryptos, which I do think is very likely because there's so much positive momentum, both fundamentally and technically behind it right now. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this hit. Come up to test this line of resistance in the near future. And if we zoom out a lot, you guys, I actually want to go out to the weekly, because I just saw a tweet. I can't remember who tweeted this, but I just saw something about this, that we just closed that. This is the highest. So yeah, this is the highest weekly close we've had in Ether since July of 2018. So that's crazy right here. That's crazy, you guys. And it's just looking really strong right now. Like look at this, like a higher, like it just looks like we want to break out and set a significantly higher high, and it makes perfect sense that it would test this area, this line of resistance on this uptrend. Yeah, I'm very confident in a $580 plus Ethereum in the near future if Bitcoin continues to rally as well. And from there, you guys, again, once we break the $740-ish area, there's very little resistance. Even after this point right here, there's very little long-term resistance, or I should say medium-term resistance. But I mean, keep in mind, you guys, this is a bubble, so there's no real strength going on in this bubble. So it will be interesting to see what happens once we get into like the $500-$600 plus region. I mean, sorry, like $600 plus region, because again, there's very just little historical resistance from that point on. And again, as Ethereum scales, as more eyes are on the cryptocurrency markets, I think we could see new all-time highs in Ethereum easily over the coming bull cycle and bull market. So XRP next, and we'll finish it off with chainlink. Chainlink is looking super bullish right now. So XRP is just not, so keep in mind, you guys, we'll actually zoom out here just to show you guys XRP's all-time high of like it's crazy. We're climbing Everest here. So XRP's all-time high was at $3.30. We are now at 25 cents. So keep in mind, you guys, like I always say this with XRP, we could 10x from here and only be at $2.50. So we could like 15x. We'd have to 15x from this point to pretty much reach XRP's previous highs. And I think that's completely possible. Again, you guys, as like global fiat currencies around the world continue to struggle, banks are on the decline. XRP, again, is a money remittance platform. So, oh my gosh, get out of here. Get out of here, Flash player. So XRP is a money remittance platform. They send international payments and settle them immediately with XRP. So that's the value proposition of XRP, which I think is a very, very compelling value proposition. And yeah, I don't know. I've said this many times, so I don't want to just keep repeating the fundamental prospects of XRP. So let's go back to the daily. I'll give you guys kind of a shorter term idea of what I'm thinking for XRP. This is going to look wild. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit here. So XRP has just been so disappointingly stagnant. There's like nothing exciting to say about XRP. So we do need to see some like crazy, because it sucks to see XRP so stagnant while the rest of the market is just pumping and seeing such exciting price action. So we definitely need to see some excitement out of XRP in regard to fundamentals. They need to be more active. Because to be completely realistic, guys, so much of the markets right now is comprised of marketing, and you just need your name out there. I'm not seeing any XRP news. There's nothing really exciting going on with XRP. As far as I'm not seeing any headlines, I should say. There's always probably exciting news going on the inside, like stuff going on at Ripple company, but I need to see headlines. Like that's what's important, you guys, especially when it comes to bull markets like this. You want to see headlines. You want to see marketing. So I don't have anything exciting to say for XRP, but I'd be surprised if we don't see all-time highs. Like if we zoom out here, I'd personally be surprised if this isn't just a very long capitulation prior to the good old second wave up. So the first wave kind of pops, you see capitulation. I think it's very likely we'll see a next wave up. And I want to see us get to at least $1. I want to see at least $1 XRP in the near future. But again, we do need to see news. They need to be better. Ripple, the company, needs to be better at marketing. So Chainlink, looking super promising right now, to be honest. So Chainlink, again, you guys, Chainlink is looking super solid. Sorry I haven't erased all that older stuff, but Chainlink, I wanted to draw these lines fresh with you guys. So Chainlink, it's like very obvious to me that we'll at least test. What the heck? I don't want to move that to the top. All right, boom, move that down. There we go. So Chainlink, it's very obvious to me that we're gonna ultimately come up to test this region, which would bring us from where we're at, like $13.30 to about again, $14.50, $15, depending on when it hits that line of resistance. And then after that point, once we're above like the $14, like in this area right here, it's just so bubbly. There's not much resistance going on. So if we can get back above $15 in chainlink, I think we could definitely see a new all-time high in chainlink. And again, you guys, similar kind of two-wave theory here as well. You see you could call this the first wave, I guess, second wave. But, first real wave, boom, bubble pops, capitulation. Saw a significant correction in chainlink down to $7 from $20. We're seeing the capitulation, the sideways price act. Although this is very volatile and there's some exciting trades to be made in here, ultimately this is sideways compared to how crazy that rally was earlier this year, this summer. I think we could very easily see, again, chainlink being a very an Oracle solution, a very necessary part of the decentralized finance ecosystem. Obviously, Chainlink, number 5, it just climbed to number 5 on the coinmarketcap. So $13 billion asset, that's super impressive. And it's crazy to see Chainlink, you guys, do this, just because I'm pretty much been invested in Chainlink from the genesis of the blockchain, and it's super exciting to see Chainlink, of all the projects I decided to get in super early on, do this well. But again, that's if you got a good product, if you're serving the right purpose, and if you're again, you serve. That's the best way to say it. You serve a purpose in the ecosystem, you get rewarded for that, along with some good old hype. And Chainlink definitely has the hype. I think if we can break above this shorter term, this more medium term, I should say, short to medium term uptrend ascending channel line of resistance right here. If we can close above $15 in the next couple of weeks. Oh, actually no, sorry, we're on the 4 hours still. So if we can, if we can break $15, just to stay straight, because $15 is also a solid psychological resistance. There's very little historical resistance above $15. If the greater cryptocurrency markets continue to rally, Chainlink's obviously appealing to a lot of newer investors. They're going to want to hop in Chainlink, and I think it could very easily skyrocket Chainlink to new highs. Where those highs will be, I don't know. Keep in mind, Ethereum went from like these prices up to like $1,000 during the 2017 bull market. So the possibilities are pretty limitless, you guys, especially when we start to go parabolic, which I think is going to happen pretty soon, sooner than later. You guys, again, I never like giving any defined dates, but I think it's going to happen sooner or later. I want you guys to be prepared. We'll call it there, you guys, getting a little long, but again, you guys, let me know which altcoins you're interested in. If you prefer altcoins to Bitcoin, if you're a Bitcoin maximalist, there's a lot of those out there. But just let me know what you're interested in, why you're interested in it, and let me know what you thought about some of this news today. Let me know what some of this, what stocks you want me to talk about in tomorrow's stock talk in regard to the crypto sector. So always excited to talk to you guys downstairs, and I'll catch you down there. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves, peace.